Couple of advantages, of course, mainly the offlane, a bit about the mid lane where you stand in how exposed you are to ganks, and then there is, of course, the differences between the jungles, where arguably the Radiant has one or two advantages. It's easier to pull on in the Radiant jungle, where it's a lot easier to disrupt it in the Dire jungle for the offlaner, but
I think overall it worked out in Navi's favor, and I think like pretend that game never happened. If they knew the heroes that they would select, they probably would have picked Dire just because they have so much push potential that they can get complete map control and then take Roshan out whenever they want. I would assume that would be the Pokemon don't really have that privilege to know exactly what heroes you're going to pick. So, okay, we can finally talk about who's playing what. So, Admiral Bulldog.
Until they swap again.
Until they swap, like... I think, when do they prevent you from swapping? Like, how many seconds in? Is it the actual lane creeps come in? I'm not sure.
I don't remember. You have quite a while.
Okay, so anyway, Ake playing Axe, as you talked about. Loda on the Luna. EGM playing the Ancient Apparition support, Admiral Bulldog, Venomancer, who I'm assuming will go top. And that'll be an interesting lane, depending on who he goes up against. And S4 mid Tinker.
And then going over to Navi, we've got Puppy playing as the Vengeful Spirit like in Game 1. Hvost will be playing the Puck, which is not actually that unusual as you would think it is, because he's generally their carry player, but in this matchup, I think it's the best hero to put him on. Dendi has been playing an amazing Ember Spirit. I have to say, he's perhaps the single best Ember Spirit performance I've seen in a pro game yet. I haven't seen too many games with it, I have to admit, but he did really well in that game we cast earlier in the tournament. He'll be playing Ember Spirit mid. We've got Kuroki playing Lion, one of his best support heroes, and that leaves Funnick to be playing on the Elder Titan. So,
not to take anything away from Dendi, I feel like everybody has been playing well with Ember Spirit, to be fair.
I don't know. If you remember, there was a game with Navi against Team Liquid in Sandwich, in which Hvost was playing Ember Spirit actually, and he had a good start, but he didn't seem to know the limits as well as Dendi does. It's a hero where you need to have really good, you need to be really good at assessing every single situation to know how far you can go, and it's something Hvost is kind of infamous for overextending quite a bit. That's something you can't afford to do with this hero. You get punished way too hard if you don't know your limits. So playing Dendi on this hero I think makes more sense just from a perspective of the player mentalities, and Hvost on the other hand has been playing a great Puck the times we've seen it. I think he's very good on this hero, even though it's, you could say, stereotypically not really his type of hero.
Gonna have a dive. It looks like top as well. Actually, we're gonna focus on top. Hvost is gonna get out, it looks like. In the meantime, Puppy gets the stun up. Nice searing chain. S4 is dead. That's first blood going the way of Funnick on the Elder Titan. Top lane, nothing ended up happening. As of course,
really a 4-man gank.
4-man. Well, that was a smoke right off the bat, and obviously gonna lose a little bit of lane presence because of this. But Funnick being the solo at bot lane, I guess doesn't miss too much overall considering the pulls.
So yeah, Alliance off to a little bit of a problem in the start, but I think when you do these 4-man ganks in the start, they really don't pay off that well. It's good for Navi in the sense that Dendi gets a little bit of a head start in the lane, but because they were 4 heroes executing this gank, S4 isn't even behind in experience. He lost a bit of gold, but he's still leading the lane. It's kind of... He got first blooded, but still doing fine. And as far as farm goes, just look at the last hits already at this point. Like, this gank from Navi has the top 4 last hits right now are all Alliance. And it's because Hvost couldn't do anything on the top lane while Navi were ganking that. So Loda is now 10-2, and Hvost is 2-1.
Okay, in the jungle, as we talked about with the Axe, remains to be seen how he's actually going to be playing this, because I guess it's kind of a hit or miss with Axe. Axe is one of those heroes that you just have to get off to a good start. He's just going to be completely useless. You'll always have that initiation possibility once you pick up his Blink Dagger, but I mean, as far as how tanky he becomes is really how it becomes very prevalent in how well he can take off overall. Then he's going to get the regeneration rune and fall back to mid as Hvost, he gets cold-footed. Cold feet? God, that's such a hard one. I don't really know how to say that one properly. Cold fitted? I don't know.
It's actually a good question.
Cold feet?
That's all I have to add to that.
He's backing out of his marriage. He's getting cold feet. Something like that. I don't know. Not sure he would marry, but, you know.
He could be married to Luna, I guess. Could be worse. No, just gonna put some pressure. I don't know, that wasn't the best impersonation I've ever done. I've done worse and better than that. Bulldog, however, the bottom lane... This is such an easy lane for Venomancer, to be honest. This hero excels at beating melee heroes in one-on-one, because he just... passively whittles down Funnick. He has one Tango left on the Elder Titan. The good thing for Funnick is that he got the first blood, because that's kind of the reason he's doing okay on gold at this point, since this bottom lane will be hard. And don't be fooled by the last hits, by the way. The Plague Wards count as CS, and I just saw Funnick at least killing 2 wards there, so they are worth way less than lane creeps. So if it looks like Funnick is doing really well, he isn't doing as well as it looks. And that's nothing against him as a player or his performance in this game. This is just a really hard lane for Luna.
Top lane, actually it's a double stun. Illusory Orb to follow. Vengeful Spirit getting the last hit. Luna gonna lift this in. Oh, Kavos actually comes in with the Illusory Orb. And wow, Luna is in a ton of trouble. He's gonna try to tango his way out. Uses
wow,
2.
Load of big plays. Huge
Oh, but a stun. Oh,
plays.
no. Okay, TP's coming in. Puppy's actually completely out of mana. He's gonna take a cold feet to the face or to the feet. Either one. Either way, he's dead one way or another. And Loda's actually back because Kuroki's completely out of mana. Nice Ice Vortex slowing him down. This is gonna be a death one way or another. And Luna getting the last hit on that bad boy. So a great turnaround.
Yeah, that was amazing. And now Ake actually is gonna he's gonna safeguard the haste here for S4. I thought he was gonna take it and try to pursue Funnick here, but couldn't really have killed him. He doesn't have a point in Berserker's Call yet. Doesn't want to go for that, but that was just really well done by Loda. And I guess in a sense you could kind of, you know, it gives you flashbacks to the grand final of TI3, the last game where Hvost is 1-on-3. It was kind of the same there, and Loda just juked them around. It wasn't to the same magnitude, but still really well played there. Ake's in trouble.
Getting completely caught out. He's gonna take 2 stuns, and I'm sure Funnick's coming around to ensure the kill one way or another. He's gonna complete. Oh, I thought he was gonna block them, but either way, getting the kill. Lion actually getting the last hit on that one. So,
and that was just the ward from Navi right there. This ward. They saw him coming in, they pinged him out, and they got in position for it. So Ake actually wanted to stab there. It's now Funnick. Funnick's dead. The question is if they get the deny. He won't have mana to TP home in time. He might actually try it. They're gonna deny him. He's a deny for Puppy there. And yay! Congratulations to Solo Feeder, Ho-Ho, and Sydney Richfield.
I wanna get something. I've seen the casters get stuff sometimes, but I guess it's...
The hell is EGM almost level 6?
Dendy here, looking for somebody. I think he was thinking Tinker might be stacking the Ancients, and it's just not the case yet, for whatever reason. In fact, Tinker is going to be getting ganked. He hits 2 and March of the Machines, pops the haste, definitely enough to get away. Very nicely done as Dendy just completely harassing, and that's the great thing about Ember Spear. You can harass from a range, just does so much damage and very little risk involved playing that hero a lot of the time, especially once you hit level 6.
Actually, should point out though, one thing that's really important about this game for Alliance is laser from S4, because the way Flame Guard works is... Oh, Dendy's actually going to get the rune here. The way Flame Guard works is that it blocks magical damage until you've absorbed the max amount, and then the Flame Guard breaks. But it doesn't block pure damage whatsoever, so the laser can finish Dendy off even when he's inside the Flame Guard. It goes completely through it. And that's really important, because this hero has very low health, and the main reason he can stay alive is because of the Flame Guard. But with a level 4 laser doing 320 bursts, suddenly Dendy needs to be a lot more careful with how he plays in these fights, because... moment, if that was a level 4 laser on S4, that would be half Dendy's health, just dropped down with one click. And we're gonna see if S4 actually prioritizes that. For the moment he's going for March. I'm curious to see as his secondary if he wants to max the heat-seeking missile or the laser after that.
Boots travel, still a ways away, obviously only 7 minutes in, but I've seen it around 10 minutes for S4, so I don't know if that's going to be the case this time, probably not. Either way, Kuroki is going to be counter-worded, but doesn't have any sentries to speak of. S4 trying to deal as much damage to Dendy as possible thanks to the March of Machines. Of course, that is, that's composite damage, so I don't believe, even with that skill, Ember Spirit's Flame Guard doesn't block that either.
Flame Guard blocks that, actually. It should. Yeah, the pipe
composite.
blocks March. The rocket as well as AOL. Oh, they're going to be a little bit off the mark there. I think Navi saw that flying since EGM was kind of visible on the lane when he threw it. Dendy's going to avoid it very nicely here and actually turning on S4 a bit. Not want to commit at this point. Now he does. Oh, maybe not. Dendy's a little indecisive.
You're right.
Here.
He could have gone. Yeah, he could have gone in and dealt a lot more damage if he wanted to. But I think what he's worried about is really Axe in the jungle, and that's kind of the strategy that they're working with here. And you always have to keep that in the back of your mind. Obviously, he doesn't have a blink or anything like that. But of course, Battle Hunger is something to keep in mind. It helps with move speed, helps with chasing. So when heroes have relatively low move speed like right now, it's going to help quite a bit overall. As we're going to see a gank attempt by Navi. At least they're grouping up to do so. They're getting pinged out by, I believe that was Puppy who pinged that actually. But spotted out
Dire's
thanks to
bottom
the Ice
tower
Vortex
is under
from
attack.
Ancient Apparition. Bottom lane though, Bulldog's going to be pushing a bit. And Funix is going to attempt, oh, he's going to miss the Gale, and actually he pops his haste. This might be a dead Admiral Bulldog. Apparently Amber Spirit kills Tinker in the mid lane. Funix, oh, he goes down to the Eclipse. Load of beautiful timing. Able to get that trade. Wow.
It's a really important TP. When you can make a TP with your carry and you can avoid one of your allies getting killed and get the kill yourself like that, that's really good decision making. Loda at the right place at the right time. He's even going to get the tier 1 tower if Navi don't TP down here, so beautiful play.
Are fortified.
And Loda's looking really good in this game, and I feel like for this alliance in the lineup, he really needs to be the big player here, because the rest of their heroes are, with the exception of Axe, fairly squishy, and they're playing against sick amounts of burst from Navi. They have such an aggressive lineup, but they don't have real late game apart from Ember Spirit. So Luna can carry it later on. S4 is going to be in a lot of trouble again. Does get the March off.
Yeah.
It's actually going to do really good damage to Kuroki.
Yeah, Kuroki might go down to the March. Nope, not looking like that's going to be the case.
Ooh, actually,
a free kill.
Closer than I thought.
Either way, it's, I mean, way in favor of Navi, even if he went down, but doesn't do so obviously. So, but Navi's doing a really good job with smokes this game, ganking left and right. Dendy picking up
mid.
It's true. Ember Spirit picking up Arcane Booth. Hey, that counts for something, okay? Counts for something.
Getting left and right in the mid lane. They came from both angles as AA actually gets a solo kill on Lion. That was a beautiful snipe here by EGM. You can see, double click the line and see where he died. Just outside, between the tier 2 and 3 tower in the mid. Very nice snipe by EGM. Didn't even see that coming. And now they might actually turn on Funnick here.
Funnick taking a Lucent Beam, Cold Feet. I don't think he's going to be able to proc it though. He's going to attempt to run away, and actually he's doing a lot of damage to that Astral Spirit. AA also up, somehow up again. It grazes Funnick as AA goes down to the Elder Titan. Good lord, I can't even believe that happened. His Lord's going to get turned around as well. Wow! So they end up getting a double kill out of nowhere. Great TP support.
Funnick survived that with so little health. Very well done by him. And the timing there from Dendy. Loda was mid-cast animation on the Lucent Beam when he got
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
ensnared by the searing chains and therefore didn't get his cast off. That was so well done by Dendy. The timing there, beautifully saving Funnick. So another nice play from Navi, who are looking good in this game. Although they're behind on both gold and experience, I still feel like this is a lineup that can deal with it because their mid game is just so explosive. It's completely crazy what these heroes can do in the mid game, but they really need to make use of it. If they play a passive game, they're gonna lose. They need to get their golden experience with kills. The farm is easily gonna go in the favor of Alliance with both the Axe in the jungle, a Tinker with March, and a Luna in general. Will easily outfarm the Navi lineup. So we're gonna see how they deal with it, at least for now. Looking okay, but they need to keep the pressure on.
Chavos, we haven't really seen much from him this game, which is kind of weird for a puck, but of course he's kind of stuck in this top lane all by himself. Typically, if you're mid, you can get room control and actually gank a little bit. Chavos, though, taking Battle Hunger, he actually got rid of it. Oh, nice phase shift, though. Culling Blade almost went up, but I don't think that would have been enough to kill him. Perhaps it was.
Dagger actually hit. He could be dying from this. This is a level 4 Battle Hunger. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Most is dead if he doesn't TP here.
Sure.
Or if he doesn't get the kill.
As EGM. Oh, let him get the kill. He does! Oh, Cold Feet, though. Beautifully done.
Very nice by Kuro, though, to not get the kill there. But hey, still managed to get the Cold Feet off. Although, at the end of that...
Trades when it wasn't even really a possibility, from my eyes at least. So it was really well done.
Andy now sneaking around. He's level 11. Wants to go here on Bulldog. Let's think about this for a second, because Flame Guard is a special ability in the sense that it's defensive and aggressive at the same time. You want it to block the damage, but at the same time you don't want it to break. So the ideal scenario for an Ember Spirit is that you take 499 magic damage, right? So that you keep it on, but it doesn't break. Then you look at Alliance's lineup, and you're like, it's great that it can block all this magical damage, but they have so freaking much of it that Dendy's Flame Guard's just gonna disappear in the fights, I think. There's March, there's Rockets, there's AA ult, there's Venomancer Ultimate, as well as Gale, Lucent Beam, Eclipse, Battle Hunger. I mean, if Dendy goes in, cannot stay in the fight the way you usually want to do with Flame Guard. So I think Dendy is much more reliant on Sleight of Fist as his damage source in this game. Even though we're only 12 minutes in, this is a terrible Flame Guard game, I think.
That's a good point. I mean, do you think this is a game perhaps he... I mean, they don't have a ton of lockdown, obviously, but a BKB would dissipate all that damage, obviously, until Luna can get some absolute right-click damage coming in. Either way,
BKB could definitely be a choice here for him, but not as a first item. Bulldog.
Right.
Actually, what is Navi trying to accomplish here? I'm not sure
Dyer's
who they're
middle
looking for
tower
right
is
now.
under
They do
attack.
have the better vision. Okay. Need to
Okay.
look.
Goodbye,
Ake's gonna
good
find
sir.
them. Goodbye. Easy kill.
He was popped for that as well. Dendy getting the last hit, and they're gonna try to push this tier 1 mid. Doesn't look like that's gonna be the case, as Venomancer has just put an army of Plague Wards up. These are so good, and people forget that it
Can't fight in this.
Yeah, they
I
definitely
think.
can't fight.
They need perfect execution to fight in these Plague Wards. If Admiral Bulldog just gets his ult off, even has a mech as well, I
Dyer's
think they
middle
have to
tower
concede this
is under
tower.
attack.
Navi are out of position for this fight. At least it
Radiant's
doesn't
top
seem like they
tower
want to
is
try to
under
defend it
attack.
either. That's a big deal. That's the mid-tier 1. And Alliance's lineup is just so good at sieging. With March and Plague Wards, you're almost impossible to initiate into. And then you just look at what happens when they get their items up. And it gets even
Dyer's
worse.
structures are fortified.
It's like a little bit of a waste of a glyph unless then he
Radiant's
can make the
bottom
big
tower.
play here.
Dyer's
He doesn't.
middle tower
He's gonna
has
jump out
fallen.
immediately here. They'll easily defend the
hero.
bot lane for Alliance, so they basically get a tier 1 tower here for no exchange for Navi.
Yep, and looking at gold per minute and net worth, Venomancer is top of the charts right now with that full mech completed, as Ake again getting caught out. Astral Spirit along with Impale, Finger of Death directly to the gullet.
Alright, so let's... Finger of Death level 1 does 600 damage, right? And then you have 25% reduction. And then you're standing next to Natural Order, and then you don't.
Radiant's
So it actually
bottom
deals
tower is
600
under
damage,
attack.
this Finger of Death. It's kind of sick when you're together with Elder Titan. These two together can solo kill. Dual kill.
It's like pure damage now,
Hero on that.
essentially.
Yeah, it really is. It turns magical damage into pure damage unless if they have some sort of resistance on top of the base. Puppy now in trouble, taking a lot of damage. Actually gonna get slowed by this Plague Ward and the AA ult.
And goodbye,
Perfect
Puppy.
aim.
Boom!
GM the sniper. He seems to like these sniping heroes. We've also seen him playing a beautiful Mirana earlier in this tournament. He was definitely
Yeah,
the key of that game. I had another point that I wanted to bring up, and it is Dendy as well. The way Fire Remnant works is that when you throw them, they fly at 2.5 times your current speed. So you're really careful with not needing to throw them in a situation when you're slowed up, because then they travel so slowly that you can't really get out with them. So Dendy's going to be in a position where he needs to either have them precast as a means of escaping, or he needs to face that they might need to travel really slowly in the fight. If he's hit by Gale, if he's under an Ice Vortex, or if he's under Battle Hunger, all of those effects will make him slower. If he has all of them on him at once, this Fire Remnant travels slower than base hero move speed. Oh, Loda.
Oh, Loda getting caught out. They could use the Illusory Orb. No, I'm sorry, the Dream Coil if they want. Eclipse is actually used.
Clips off.
Dendy gets the kill, so he lives to see another day thanks to his ultimate again coming in use. Kuroki, the Gale's gonna miss, and the Cold Feet's not gonna initially proc. Double Impale, there's the Dream Coil on 2 though. He could have gotten on 3, but didn't choose to do so, as Bulldog taking a lot of damage. Oh wow, that is like, you rarely see that proc correctly, as Bulldog is in a lot of trouble. He's gonna go down, but he's gonna be a trade thanks to the Cold Blade. Dendy going down to the rockets, not able to get away from his ultimate. Funnick getting caught in between an actual sandwich, not a European sandwich, but he gets out of it because he bites right through like nothing else, as the rocket's gonna destroy Lion. Funnick's gonna be the last survivor in that engagement.
Lions tried to play them a European sandwich, but they got the American version the other way. Navi best team USA.
So good.
Well, that was a crazy fight. And again, I feel like Dendy's timing is insane. Ake was throwing Calling Blade on Dendy, and he gets Searing Chained, and it disrupts the cast of Calling Blade. So that disallowed Ake from getting the second
Radiant's
Calling
middle
Blade off
tower
and kept
is
his
under
momentum in
attack.
that fight going. They did kill Dendy with the heat-seeking missiles, but it still changed the outcome of the fight because Ake had to move differently in that fight. And I just feel like Dendy, for now, is, like I said before the game, he is an exceptional player on this hero, and he's showing top-tier play in this game.
Absolutely. Item progressions, because we haven't really done any of that yet. Of course, we talked about the mech on Admiral Bulldog, who's now going for an Aghanim's Scepter, and of course we don't see a farming Venomancer all too often, as he's going to take a Searing Chains, but we'll live to see another day. We saw Blink Dagger on Lion, though. That is huge pickup on Kuroki. Of course, considering that he is the... Is he the... Okay, he's the secondary
Position
support.
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Puppy's the one with no farm. I guess that's pretty typical overall.
Generally do it. As in mid lane, actually, Lion's gonna get completely caught out here.
Titan not have his ultimate? He hasn't leveled it yet. Level 12. That's really weird. Could have gotten perhaps 2 kills there if they were able
He
to
had
combo
1
that.
point in his ultimate. I think they could have gone for that. That's very true. Now Lost is thinking about it. He's gonna go in.
Well, only on one though, he's getting cold feet. He's gonna get out before procs, as Axe is gonna be the first to fall. But of course, it ends up being a trade. Puck going down. EGM trying to do as much damage before he goes down. Either way, looks like Funnick's gonna be the one that actually drops his Dendi. Doesn't have his ultimate up, it looks like. So he will use Flight of Fist to stay alive a little bit longer, but will not live long enough. Kuroki, the last to survive in this mid lane. Of course, I don't even think he was part of that. Of course, he has his blink. He's gonna use his finger directly in the gullet of Venomancer.
Oh, he's so dead for that, though. I bet it still feels good, though. Oh, maybe not.
The orange can prevent his blink.
There's not enough. Oh, there is the mana.
Radiant's
You can blink now.
tower is under attack.
Actually got away with that.
Beautiful.
Very nicely done by Kuro here. But Alliance, I feel like the best quote for this is, the moment Puck jumped in and did that one-man dream call, the first thing I was thinking in my mind was, I immediately regret my decision. That was like the first thing that came to mind, because he cannot afford to commit his hero to dream calling Axe alone, who's the most tanky hero on the Alliance's side. That's not going to turn out well for them in that fight. And then after Alliance committed to that, or sorry, Navi committed, Alliance just easily turned it around on them and got a 3-for-1. Kuro salvages it a bit with that solo kill afterwards, but it was on I got the Veno actually, so it is a core. As weird as that is to say, Veno is a core in this game, but this is looking very, very good for Alliance. From a spectator point of view, this is of course amazing. I would love to see a game 3 in this series.
Absolutely. The experience is pretty even overall. Oh, where? Which lane? Tell me. Okay, top. Ooh, got the tail end of that one.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Overall, though, the gold is definitely in favor of Alliance right now. Experience overall pretty even, so Navi's still in. I mean, it's not horribly in favor of Alliance either way. But you're right. The Dream Coils need to hit more than one person in fights. And in fact, he had an opportunity in the fight previous to hit 3, as I talked about, but only hit 2. Not sure if that would have made any in the actual fight itself, but either way, something to think about.
He's drawing a line for Roshan. He drew a little bit of a spiral as a path in there. And I think this is a classic Navi play. If things aren't exactly going their way, they make a big play at Roshan. But I think they need to be really, really careful against Alliance's lineup. If you look at the game, it's going to be so hot in the Roche pit. The two teams just have amazing Roche abilities. Elder Titan is crazy here, Ember Spirit is crazy here, Puck is crazy here, and then you have Alliance, March of the Machines, everything about Veno, AA Ultimate, Eclipse.
Eventually Axe when he picks up his tank dagger, but he's quite a ways away.
He's going for the tank. Oh, AA Ultimate. Actually, getting a little off the mark here. EGM overshooting it a bit. I think this might give Navi the confidence to stay in here, although they are getting scouted out. I don't think Alliance will be on time. This is going to cut really close.
Should get it, I would at least think so. Ember Spirit's going to want to pick it up as Funnick looks like he's going to drop before anything happens here. Puppy getting off his Howl of Terror to no avail. Dendi has the Aegis as he we heard a call to Blade go off. The Aegis is going to be used immediately. Are they going to be able to surround him? Doesn't look like they want to. Marching Machine's just going to force him out as he uses his Sleight of Fist and his ultimate to get away. Sad,
that was worth it for Navi. They got Roshan, but the only thing they got from it was the gold. They lost the Aegis immediately, they lost 2 heroes, and they're going to lose a tier 2. This is... When they got scouted out, these are the hardest calls, some of the hardest calls to make in Dota always revolve around the Roche pit, because it's hard to estimate how long time you exactly need to do it, even though they had the Vengeful minus armor and the medallion. For them to... Oh, lost. Actually... Lost. Confident here.
Thought about swapping, but of course...
Really surprised if Navi actually managed to hold this. AA Ultimate. Hit Dendi only. Flame Guard on cooldown, but yeah, that's all gonna come from that. I still think Alliance came out ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I thought Navi had a lot better potential to kill Roshan with all that minus armor, but of course they only had 3 people attacking him, and it's probably the right move because they wanted to make sure they had counter initiation available. But if they had put one more person in the pit to start with, 4 people, they would have killed Roshan a lot sooner, and then that wouldn't even happen, I don't think. And actually, I was talking about Howl of Terror, it was level 3, so I was assuming it was actually a low level, just because he's only level 9. But choosing to max that out along with the aura, leaving a stun at only level 1.
This is something we generally see both Puppy and Kuro doing on the Vengeful Spirit. A lot of other Vengeful Spirit players kind of stick to always maxing out the Magic Missile, but in some games it just makes a lot of sense maxing out the Aura and Wave of Terror and just keeping the stun on level 1, because when you look at the stun, what scales about it mainly is the damage. The duration scales by 1/10 of a second per level. It's terrible in the damage, in the stun duration scaling. And it costs more mana per level as well, which you shouldn't underestimate. Actually, is kind of important. So we often see when Navi feel like they don't need the burst from that spell, they max out the Wave of Terror and Vengeance Aura, which give them a lot more teamfight potential, and potential to do Roshan as well. When they're dire, that's really a good choice, I feel, here. That said, S4 got really countered in mid. He was 0-3. He's now leading the net worth by 2,000 gold, ahead of Loda, who is second for Alliance. And if Navi, we talked about how they need to execute at this stage of the game. If this stalls out, I've got all my money on Alliance.
Oh boy, Puppy, don't walk in it! Oh no! That should be enough. He needs about 100 HP, and down goes Puppy. I wanted to talk about the Aghanim Scepter, which is now complete on Admirable. I think we had a conversation about this previously, how I'm not a huge fan of the Aghanims on Venom, but this game in particular is amazing, because you combine that with the AA ult. If you can hit everybody with that, I mean, that is a one team fight right off the bat. Plain and
when you're looking at Venom, it's often the question of whether you get the Veil or the Axe. And if you do the math for both Venom and Sand King, you deal more damage with the Veil upgrade or with the Veil than with the Axe upgrade. Then it's all about what stats you gain, etc. But in this game, it doesn't matter, because Bulldog will get the Axe since he's in a core position, and EGM feels like, okay, in this game, I probably won't be able to afford the Axe at the point I want. I get the Veil. He has it now. So they have Veil and Axe Venom ult. As we're going to see Kuroki here from the surface of the earth, and Alliance taking another tower here
middle tower
for Bulldog.
has fallen.
They're looking really good. Again, we see the Echo.
Splitter?
Actually, finally gets Earth Split, but it only hits one, and the Blink Dagger is now available. And actually, AA picks up Veil of Discord. That is going to be sick. Get that off in the fights.
Now that they have those two together, right? The whole point with the discussion about Venno, should he get it or not, is now it doesn't really matter because AA has it. The question is it a better choice for Alliance in this game to get the Veil on the AA and get the Axe upgrade on the Venno, or should they have done it the other way around? Because the AA Axe upgrade is insanely good. But for it this time around though, EGM Boast gets the Dream Coil, and Funnig and Dendi as well. Clear it up, and Dendi will now get his Destiny.
Good point. I mean, obviously, Ags on AA is way better than Venno. I mean, I think we can safely say that. But like you're talking about, Venno was the one farming, so it's a little bit easier to pick up. I don't know. I can see your point, but I don't think they really had the opportunity to do so. I mean, the way this game is going, AA can still pick up Ags in this game if they don't finish it in time.
It's true. He could work on it, but then again, if that was his plan, maybe he should have got it from the start. We'll see where EGM goes from here and how the game progresses in general. Bulldog is going to pick up Ring of Health, so my first...
Battle Fury. My
first thought is not Battle Fury, but Refresher
stuff.
Orb could be a choice, which I do not believe Venomancer Ultimate stack. This is actually something I'm not completely sure about, but I think they don't. It's a little weird with which Ultimate stack and which don't. I think Venomancer Ult refreshes if you hit it with Refresher, so you don't have two on you at once, but the cooldown starts over again. The countdown, rather, on your hero, the effect. But we're going to see if that is Bulldog's plan here, as he is in the secret shop right now, so he could buy his Perseverance if that was the plan. He's not doing that, though. So maybe taking this in a different direction. Maybe we're looking at a 30-minute Vanguard for the Venomancer.
Well, I think Lincoln's is the most likely overall. But remains to be seen. I mean, he's not really having that much issue staying alive, I guess, so I guess it's debatable either way. I mean, Venomancer is kind of a weird hero to build on, to be perfectly honest. I mean, once you get that Ags, you already have enough tankability, I feel like, and of course, he has a mech as well on top of that. So I think you can go damage.
Really
I mean, this is a hero that people forget can actually turn into a semi-carry for all intents and purposes.
I don't think he needs to. He really doesn't need to. If you look at the game for what heroes Navi have, and the fact that Alliance have a Tinker and a Luna, I think Bulldog should just go full utility, not a single damage. Just get all the utility you can. He could even get a Vlad's for his team. I think it could be a nice choice, even though they don't have too many melee heroes. Actually, they only have the Axe for that, but just the 5 armor aura is really useful, and that's the kind of stuff that Venno could get in this game. I wanted to point one more thing out that we haven't talked about yet: how hard it is to push Alliance.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They have Tinker.
Don't question yourself, Synderen.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Did we? I didn't talk about it enough.
Okay.
So, we're getting to the point when Navi need to perform. They need to do something aggressively, and they need to start pushing now. And they just can't. If you look at alliances here, it's going to be almost impossible for them. Now they're going to TP back to defend. There's actually a nice Echo Stomp. Dandy. Two-man. Searing Chains.
A good start for Navi as Admiral Bulldog pretty much used his ult on one person, but it's going to be 1-for-1 trade at the moment. Kuroki taking a rock to the face. Phonic though, stuck in another sandwich. Delicious one. Conley Blade wasn't able to finish him off though. Ends up being a 2-for-1 in Alliance's favor, despite it actually starting decent. Who bought back?
Is under attack.
He died. Again.
He just died.
Or, not again, rather, but he died so far away from the fight. He had, what did he have on him? He had AA ult on him, and he had Ven ult on him. That was all, I think. He just ended up dying.
Well, we talked about that. Yeah, I guess that's
true. Sick. I don't think the Veil was even used in that fight from EGEM, so...
That started, like, honestly, you can't ask for a too much better start to a fight for Navi, because AA ult was used on one person, and was essentially taken out of the fight right off the bat. Of course, he didn't end up dying somehow, which was shocking, considering he was dream coiled, but it just shows how much Alliance is up by right now, I suppose. Just farming away to his heart's content. Gonna go before Manta.
It's a game. It's Alliance's game to lose at this point. I feel like a big play from Navi is not going to bring them back now. It needs to be a combination of Navi playing really well and Alliance overextending, because Alliance is an experienced team. They know what position they're in the game and how the drafts play up against each other. They know that they've got over the hardest part of the game. Now it's textbook farming the whole way through. They can farm the. Backing the Ancients for Loda, Tinker can split push the lanes, they can keep defending with Plague Wards, AA ult, and the March, and Navi need to find ganks, which are going to be really hard to find, because by the nature of how Alliance are going to play this, they're going to be all over the place, but only for very short amounts of time. And speaking of which, Ake is going to get opened off.
Those who I'm watching bottom lane, they sheeped him immediately and will fall as a result, as you talked about. Lion getting the kill on Luna, as Axe will fall as well. So it ends up being a 2-for-1. In opposite lanes, Dandy going down. I was actually surprised that they killed him, but the sheep stick was more than enough apparently. I mean, that's one of the things about Ember Spear. If you catch him out and get a sheep on him or some sort of a stun, he's gonna go down, because he's pretty damn squishy.
To say, that was a really nice play from Navi in the mid lane to get that trade. 2-for-1. Sorry? What's that?
No, Kuroki just disjointed the rockets from Tinker.
Yeah, so what happened to them there was Axe got initiated on, and Loda wanted to come in and help. He got Echo Stomped by the Elder Titan, and Puppy swapped him into a Hex, as Kvotz is so dead.
Simple job by S4 predicting. Well, I guess it wasn't that big of a prediction, considering the Illusory Orb is one-way location. Either way, I'll just say, good prediction by S4, well played, good sir, getting that sheep stick off just in time.
Under attack.
I mean, we're talking about two very elusive heroes, I should say, in Ember Spirit and Puck, going down with really mostly to supports and then Bulldog on the side. I mean, I guess it all starts out with sheep stick and Tinker though.
Yeah, of course. Why didn't I think of the pipe? Did you mention that?
I'm an idiot. Yeah, you're right.
Why wouldn't he turn that ring into a pipe? When you look at Navi's lineup, it's the best item in the game.
Does he have a cloak? I mean, because that's why. Because I don't think of pipe when I say Ring of Health.
We saw him buying the Ring of Health and nothing more after that, I think. And he just basically, I think, almost one-shot this pipe. At least I didn't notice him taking up the hood halfway through, so...
Phonic getting sheeped. And AA doesn't even need to use his ult, but will do so. Venomancer gets the last hit. Not sure what Phonic's thinking, but Navi just so far behind. They need to take some risks. Actually, he buys back.
They were afraid Alliance were going to push on, but they actually already backed out, so that was a little bit of a waste. Or they're going for Roche, but then again, what did Alliance use? They used the A ult, which is off cooldown in 20 seconds, and they have a great lineup for defending the Roche pit. I don't think Navi are going to be able to sneak this. I want to point out the pipe. The reason it was really weird not to consider that a choice here is when you look at Navi's lineup, it's the best item they can get against them. There's so much magic damage, so little physical on Navi's side. Pipe is going to work wonders for them and allow them to continue executing the strategy that they're looking for, which is just this split push, and then the occasional team fight when they have the advantage, the pipe is going to win it for them.
Smoke up.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I would have thought of it if I saw a cloak. I don't really think of a pipe when I see a Ring of Health, honestly. I mean, Battlefield is the first thing I think of, then Vanguard second, and then, Lincoln third.
Scrub.
That's true. That's why you're not professional anymore. Puck uses phase shift. Can he blink out in time? No, he gets sheeped! And that is a dead Phobos, to say the least, as we have more engagement. Cool, here, that's actually going to finish something up, so it ends up being a fair trade overall. Elder Titan using his ult, but Admiral Bulldog uses his in turn on absolutely nothing. but either way, Alliance should be favored in this fight regardless. We have another buyback, of course. Kobost
did clip
doing
Dendi.
so Dendi.
Yep. Survive though. This is where Flame Guard is amazing as well. If he's hit by that combo, oh, S4.
Oh, he gets his laser off as you're talking about pure damage, but Dendi and Kuroki doing some layered stunning. That doesn't even enough to kill Tinker, so being a little bit over aggressive is S4. They can afford it, I suppose.
Pretty costly. He does have buyback.
Can he buy back?
He's gonna have to use that, else they're gonna concede the Roche, I believe. Unless, okay, Loda has a DD. He hits really damn hard. And Navi, with the nature of the lineup they have, they actually aren't fast at taking Roshan because they're lacking that carry who can do it. The only carry they have to deal damage to Roshan is Ember Spirit, who has terrible tank ability and doesn't really want to go in melee range with the Roche. So someone else has to tank it for Dendi, but then at the same time he's really exposed by being melee in the middle of the pit. They don't even try it. So Alliance are just spotting them out, stalling it out. So we have a Blink Dagger on Bulldog. I'm not sure if you called that out. Well, they are going to try it. And this could backfire really hard for Navi. EGM is in position, lock and load. Thinking about it.
There we go. Off with this Veno Blink. Oh my god, this is going to be so sick. He's
going
to hit.
Boom.
Phase shift, of course, used to dodge it. Roshan's going to go down one way or another.
They actually get it.
And he's going to pick it up. Here we have initiation. Eclipse. Oh my god, Lions goes down before he can do anything to Dead. He used Funnick. This is a team. It's going to be a team wipe if they're not careful. Dendi trying to get out. He does to survive for Navi. For now.
From S4, he has the Hex. He stands still.
Blink's off cooldown still.
He couldn't see Dendi at the end there.
Completely one team fight. Aegis used right off the bat, so not a whole lot gained for Navi in that fight.
Well, still, S4 at least had to buy back for that, so I have to say Alliance came out on top again, but this is attributed to the fact that they're leading as much as they are. If this was an even, would have been a costly mistake for Alliance to lose S4 like they did beforehand. But they're just comfortably in the lead, now going to be forcing down this mid-tier tier 3, sorry. And I think Navi are going to lose at least one side here. Dendi is way too far in.
They jumped off. Oh, nice swap by Puppy. He's going to take the A blast, but of course, Ember Spirit will fall.
He's going to get himself killed, maybe.
No, he'll be okay.
As well as Rocket.
My goodness. Didn't think they'd actually bother. They're going to take out the racks.
I think Navi are going to call this. They're going to lose two sides.
Absolutely.
They have almost no chance of defending at this point. Alliance are fully healthy. They have Pipe ready, they have Mech ready. They have an insane base breaking lineup with the Luna as well as the March.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
They're not conceding this yet.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
I really blame them for fighting, but at the same time, these two teams, when they play off against each other, they usually know when the game's over. And I feel like this is that time when you don't exhaust yourself mentally by playing on. You're just trying in a game that's almost impossible to bring yourself. You realize the game is over.
Alliance victory.
Navi, of course, did win the first one, so now we're tied at 1-1, and now they can get focused together for the third game, and I'm just really happy we get a third one. And I hope we're going to get a combination of game 1 and game 2, and in the sense that it's not that important that the game is really long.